Did you tell me Eric was coming?
Yeah.
How long is he going to be here?
He lived somewhere.
Well, I know he went somewhere, but when he comes back here.
Oh, I don't know. As long as he's gone, I'm here. Listening to stuff and making videos.
As long as
he's gone,
yes,
I'll be here.
you'll be here. Yes.
Yeah.
No, none one.
Then when he gets back, if he does, I'll be able to go wherever. That's it.
Will you really?
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Whew. I'm going to try to read this thing again.
Seems like just lately. However,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to okay, I'll try to read the rest of this in here. All right. As I demonstrated, he said he okay. All right. Okay, and he says that this is what he said. As I demonstrated that he supposedly showed that there was consent involved. So it's not rape in Sunan Abu Dawud 22050 in yeah. No, you haven't. That Islam is against rape. No, all you've done. No, all you've done is shown that Islam is contradictory when it comes to rape, but not really. For whoever heard of Sunan al-Bahaqi? Sunan Abu Dawud is one of the Sunnis regard. But who is al-Bahaqi? Never heard of him until you presented him. Al-Bahaqi. Oh, what's that? Okay. And I can bring more hadith. Then your argument here is left as a straw man, since Islam is against rape, sex with woman, consent. And if Islam is against rape, then you make null and void a major hadith, Sunan Abu Dawud, that allows for it with 22150. And again, you fail to show consent of not only the woman, but the husband, Quran 424. But the husband, 424 is alluding to, with quote, forbidden to, O Muslim, are married women. You can't have sex with married women, except that's the key word here that opens the door to Muslims being able to have sex with married women, quote, which your right hand possess, slave girl who is married. Then there is no need to repeat my hadith, which will help me to keep my response short. I think he means response short. And again, all you've done, if this Sunan al-Bahaqi trumps Sunan Abu Dawud, is make null and void a major hadith, Sunan Abu Dawud. That allows for rape with 22150. And again, you fail to show consent of not only the woman, but the husband. Quran 424 is pretty much the exact same thing again, right hand possession, So ya Islam Allah's slavery. Wow, you actually admitted that. But But you must treat your slave well, even if he or she isn't a Muslim. How do you get the slave being treated well when you can have sex with his wife? See the first part of Quran 424, please. There is something wrong with allowing slavery if you treat them as your brothers. Having sex with their wives? Treat them like your brothers? Okay. Where? Oh, yeah, treat them like your brother? Okay. Again, where is the consent from not only the wife, but the husband? Guess what? No Muslim, including you, can ever show the consent of either couple to lessen the great evil of the first part of Quran 424 and how it's reported, handed down in Dawud 250 and Muslim 834, 32, 34, 33. I can bring a hadith that says, don't call them my slave, call them my brothers. Oh, that I'm sure you can. Brothers whose wives you can apparently violate for, again, where is the consent of him anywhere in the quote clear signs handed down that explain things fully in detail to lessen the great evil of the first part of Quran 424 and how it's reported handed down in Dawud 250 and Muslim 834, 32, 33. If you want, again, about sex, here it's about sex without consent, rape. Thanks for being truthful here. We are talking about here, I'm going to bring a verse for it. Well, it's about time. So where is it? I continue to wait for that scripture. Where is it? 419. Yusuf Ali, O ye who believe, ye are forbidden to inherit women against their will. Oh, that sounds sweet. But what if they aren't Muslim? Oh, that's right. See Quran 424, or there's a contradiction brewing in the clear signs, right? Nor should you treat them with harshness. Don't use Quran 434 and beat them if you fear rebellion from them. Then a contradiction in the clear signs, I see. That ye may take away part of the dower that ye have given them, except where they been guilty of lewdness. Right. Then you lock them up in their home till death takes them, or put until Allah appoint a way. Quran 15. Or Muhammad, Allah, thinks of something better. Appoint a way. True? It goes to show you just how the Quran is not eternal when it says it is. You know? And it goes to show you that really is abrogation, you know? And that Muhammad really was writing the Quran. Until Allah think of a better way, you know. Right. On the contrary, live with them on the footing of kindness and equity. Oh, that really sounds sweet, but it's contradicted by Quran 434. That abrogates for unless the woman can beat the man, you know. If she fears rebelling from him. But it's contradicted by Quran 4. Yeah. 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 Yeah, kindness and equity, yeah. But it's contradicted by 434 that abrogates 419 because 434 comes after Quran 419. If you take a dislike to them, it may be that you dislike a thing and Allah brings about through it a great deal of good. Says the thing that boasts of being the best of deceivers. There is so many things to start here, but go ahead, read through it. All you're doing is proving the Quran is contradictory. And again, back to the first part of Quran 424 and how it's reported handed down in Sahih Muslim and Dawud. Where is the word consent from either couple? Yeah. In the hope of finding favor in the eyes of their captors in case of defeat. Oh, I read that to you, yeah. Yeah, he took that out of he put that there. It's like, what's this thing about in the hopes of finding favor in the eyes of the captors in case of defeat? He left out the part that they dressed up, the women, the infidel women dressed up nice in case they were captured by, you know, Muslims. They wanted to, you know, find favor in the eyes of the captor, you know. And so if so, sounds like there is nothing wrong with Sunnah Abu Dawud 220 and 50 after all. In support of how the first part of Quran 424 was handed down. Or are you going to take that back? Oh, yeah. Or are you going to take that back? Again, Where do you see permission being asked in the Quran? You know, the clear signs handed down, explain things fully in detail. Where do you see permission being asked to have sex with someone's wife for the first part of Quran 424? Where? Yeah. And he tries to throw out John McClintock, James Strong, Encyclopedia, what gives you the right to say whatever you want? Because I said that before. See, he's trying to respond to what I said here, so I'm going to skip down to where it gets where he thinks he produced something, okay? Okay, so it appears I made two different arguments that is not going to work for your buddy. Oh? Not work for you. Not work for your buddy. Call me buddy. It calls me buddy, yeah. So it appears I made two different arguments that is not going to work for your buddy. Oh? Again, where is the consent of the couple? You know, you have women who follow their father and husbands to the war, put on their finest dresses and ornaments previous to an engagement in the hope of finding favor in the eyes of their captors in case of defeat. Thus, adultery is just fine in Islam, true? Because where does it say their husband would be killed, so the woman and Muslim who killed her husband could have sex without committing adultery? Where? And of course he hasn't answered that one yet. Then from another time I say, oh, I'm sure you can. It's called snow and diversion, or as I call it, taqiyya, line for Allah, thinks we can. Quran 328, 16:106, and most saying words to see. And here we are in the part that I consider it the most disgusting among your arguments, calling me a liar. Then why do you? Well, then why do you lie? That's fun. Yeah. And here we are in the part that I consider it the most disgusting among your arguments, calling me a liar. Then why do you? When you say you can present consent from those who will and are violated to make the first part of Quran 424 not sound so evil, well, how are you not lying? Not only that, it breaks the law of respecting your opponent in departing table. What does that mean? But also shows your ignorance of the hadith I cited false. Yeah. False. It shows that you are lying when you can't give an explanation of why a hadith many Muslims regard as important, Sunan Abu Dawud 2150, would be considered the translation wrong, and then you don't present where consent is to lessen the evil of it. And then you support Dawud 2150 by posting this stupid saying with, quote, women who followed their father and husbands to the war put on their finest dresses and ornaments previous to an engagement in the hopes of finding favor in the eyes of their captors in case of defeat. Yeah. Do you see how stupid and contradiction there here is if they're not going to be violated, you know? And if there's going to be consent, you know? Thanks, I was changing the subject. Thanks to Quran 328, how can 328 give me the permission to lie? For my case, there is nothing in it that says lies, or maybe you got this from Answering Islam website, right? Atheist propaganda strikes again. It simply says not to take you unbelievers as headmasters, as a clerical body. What? Means state governor. Wali actually doesn't mean state governor, it means guard. What comes to your mind where you are cut off from Allah if you do take me as a friend, but aren't if you, quote, guard against me? What do you think that entails? You know? 16106. I laughed so hard here you shot yourself right in the foot, like how stop spamming. That's the name of a guy that was doing something. Do all the time this verse. Oh? How so? Yeah. How so? Unfortunately for you, shows that it's the unbelievers were violent. Where do you get that in Quran 16:106? It just says if under compulsion. How much compulsion? How cowardly do you have to be allowed to pull a lie and say you aren't a Muslim? How much? Where do you get put under the threat of death in Quran 16:106? And if you do, well, what happened to martyrdom? Unfortunately for you, shows that it's the unbelievers were violent, shoving their beliefs on Muslims. Better that Muslims force theirs on non-Muslims due to Quran 9:1. I put 9:15. I meant 9:1 through 5. But of course, he runs off with it. Say, oh, you. Later on, I didn't mean to say 9:15. I meant to say 9:1 through 5. Of course, he's going to run off of that. Yeah, so I said this. Better that Muslims force theirs on non-Muslims due to Quran 9:1 through 5 and 29. True? Of course, he sees 1:15. Well, he sees Quran 9:15, so he's going to run with it. Oh, well. So, unlike the opposite, that what people think about Islam. What? It shows how unbelievers used to force Muslims to accept back polytheist beliefs. Where does it say that in the quote, clear signs handed down that explain things fully in detail with Quran 16:106? Where? And again, where is consent for the first part of Quran 4:24 and how it's reported, handed down in Dawud 2:2050, Muslim 8:34, 32, 33? Where? And then he gives the Arabic. And I say, so? Whosoever disbelieves in Allah after his belief, except for one who is forced to renounce his religion while his heart is secure in faith, what happened to martyrdom? If that's how it is, well, again, what happened to martyrdom? Aren't you, as a Muslim, to not put anything over Allah, which would be shirk? If you can put your life over Allah, how is that not shirk? If you can deny Allah, how is that not shirk? But those who willingly open their hearts to unbelief, upon them is wrath from Allah, and for them is a great punishment. Again, what happened to martyrdom? And again, where does it say under the threat of death? It just says forced. How forced? Surah 16:106. Ibn Kathir comments on this verse. Yeah, it shows the Arabic. This is an exception in the case of one who utters statements of unbelief and verbally agrees with the idolaters because he is forced to do so by their beatings and the abuse to which he is subjected. You mean like Bilal? I bet Bilal probably shouted out angrily after this scripture was, quote, handed down with, "Now y'all kill me." True? So fear of being beaten and abused is allowed to be greater than Allah, so you can deny Allah and not be like Bilal? Again, why be a martyr? And what do you think of Quran 16:107? That comes right after 16:106, saying this is, quote, this is because they preferred the worldly life over the hereafter, and that Allah does not guide the disbelieving people. If you deny Allah, if you are denying Allah, aren't you doing what Quran 107 warns about? How is Quran 16:106 not a refutation and contradiction for the need of Quran 16:106 about denying Allah? Shouldn't you welcome death to avoid the warning of the very next verse? Think, O slave of the best deceivers. Think. But his heart refuses to accept what he is saying, while he is in reality at peace with his faith in Allah and his messenger. Right. He's lying about not believing in Allah. He's comfortable knowing that Allah values cowardice and concern for one's life over belief in Allah. And yet the Muslims don't see how this life has become more important over the belief in Allah, flying the face of Quran 16:107. Doesn't see how this isn't shirk even. How come? Source Tafsir Ibn Kathir 16:106. So yeah, quite ironic that this verse shows that it's you unbelievers who forced your beliefs on us false. It shows how martyrdom becomes a joke and flies in the face of the very next verse. It shows how your life of comfort is more important than your belief in Allah. That's all. How can it not?
How can it not?
I was burning my my greens, so I had to go up there and take the thing off the pot. I take the pot off of the take the pot off of the stove. Yeah, that's it. Well, anyway, I'll continue this thing here. The color, they were collard greens and some Brussels sprouts. And I'll add some garlic to them, no olive oil, stuff like that. What's that? I see. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's past 6, so you probably shouldn't eat it. Okay, I'll continue this thing here. Yeah. Okay. I say false. It shows how martyrdom becomes a joke and flies in the face of the very next verse. It shows how your life of comfort is more important than your belief in Allah. That's all. How can it not? It gives us the right to save our lives from you by making a fake conversion to your faith to save ourselves, not to lie in benefit our case. No, not to lie to benefit our case. I think he means cause. No. I said no. It shows you martyrdom is a joke. Quran 6107 is a joke, and that your life is and comfort is more important than your belief in Allah, allowed by Allah, making Bilal go through a torture with his crying out when he could have lied and cried out many. Know what I'm saying? So will you respond again, please? Don't use this again. Where is the consent of the husband or his wife to not make it rape? In Sunan Abu Dawud 22050. Yeah. But just, where is the consent to just make it plain old adultery in the first part of Quran 424, you know? Where you're forbidden to, married women are forbidden to you except what your right hand possesses, you know, so you can have slave, you know, adultery with them, you know? Where is the consent there, you know? No. Type of response, I lost count to what you said there. Well, we will leave that up to our possible readers to ask questions, okay? In conclusion, Nalan Yasbar hasn't defined consent. Liar, I have, it is you. But Muslims usually say the opposite of that, which is true, so I expect you to continue to accuse me of what you yourself are doing. Not talking what consent is then. It's part of the taqiyya, for one thing. And accused me of being a liar and never responded with a counter hadith to my hadith. False. All you did was show a contradiction in Islam and the Quran if you can't rape a woman. For again, you never show consent from the man nor woman to make the first part of Quran 424 not sound so damn evil. Brought 2 verses about taqiyya that has nothing to do with taqiyya. If I just smile. Repeated his argument and copy and pasted it over and over again. Cuts my sentences on half, never letting the full quote. I don't have to. What does quote? Don't be friends of Christians and Jews unless you Muslim. Guard yourself against them. What does that mean? Well, we'll leave that up to our readers to decide, won't we? Continue, then respond, and so on and so forth, gladly. And then some other guy, I think he's a Muslim, is called Stop Spamming One, said, "Are you guys crazy? 1,000 lines, I just found this in the spam area. I've unspammed it, but I'm not sure why." And that guy, another Muslim, said, "He best, huh? Oh, what's that?" Okay. He goes, he says, "Are you guys crazy? 1,000 lines? I just found this in the spam area. I've unspammed it, but I'm not sure why." And then an Ahmed Zaid said to this guy, he basically ghost banned Guy Fawkes. I think he's accusing me of ghost banning him. Guy Fawkes replied, "That is an act of cowardice." He ghost banned whoever that is, ghost banned him because he know Guy Fawkes will refute him. And I say, refute him on what? I'm still waiting for Fox to respond to me. Like, where's the consent, you know? Then the Guy Fawkes talks to me and says, "You ghost banned me." I didn't ban him at all. What's this? I don't even own the video, you know what I mean? What the heck is this ghost? But they're trying to see, you know, yeah. "You ghost banned me, so no one is able to see my reply." Right, a likely story. "I posted it like 3 times already, and don't be a liar. I sent you a PM," that's a private message, "on your YouTube account with my reply in it." You know something? I can't even find my inbox and my PMs or personal messages. Can't even find it. And I'm wondering, maybe he's just saying that because he knows there aren't any more? You know? I don't know. Sure. And then that got that Ahmed Zaid saying to me, "You ghost banned him and no one is able to see his reply. He sent it to me and he said he posted it here, but I can't see it. That shows you ghost banned him. Only cowards do that." I go, "There is no way I banned you. Perhaps someone refused to upload what you said. For one thing, I'm not the owner of this video. Anyway, you say you PM, that means personally message me. I'll check it out." And I try to look for, I can find the personal messages. But I've seen it sometimes, but not this time. I think they're trying to get rid of them. And I think they might know that they don't exist anymore, so they're trying to make it look like I'm a chicken or something. Then I said, "I have no idea about ghost banning things off of websites. It sounds spooky. By the way, he said he responded to me in PM, and if so, I'll gladly respond to it. Personally, though, I find it cowardly to PM me," and it's personally message anyone. "I say, let it be out in the open so anyone can read what you say. Perhaps I'll post what he sent me here, or make videos out of it by turning it into a script," which, of course, I'm doing. Yeah. Let's see here. How much is there? I'd say so. Yeah. I bet. Yeah.